All right. Of Company Innocence and come you on the second open call webinar that we have organized for the purposes of you to get to know better the open call, equity free. Today here with me, I have my colleague Mladen from Innocence as well, Antonio, project coordinator from F6S. I have Andreas from Intrasoft and Gigimanta joined us as well, and you will program. Also, I would like to let you know that this webinar will be recorded in order to showcase it later on for people that could not have attended it.
Many thanks, Daniel. Can you hear me all well?
Perfectly.
Great. Many thanks once again, and thanks for the opportunity to be the first intro speaker. Very briefly present what is the idea of blockchain innovation spaces, or Block.IS, our accelerator, our European Commission funded accelerator under the umbrella of European countries. As Daniel said, we are a few of us present here in this call, so we assume that we will have the capacity to answer all of your upcoming questions. Business accelerator, and our main idea, our main goal is actually to bring closer to the market your innovative ideas, your innovative ventures that are proposing we are focusing on 3 domains, on 3 verticals, on 3 sectors in general. They are fintech, so financial industry in a broader sense. Then focus, and whatever particular solution you have to propose for them, it will be welcome to be potentially supported by our accelerator. And later on, you will understand much better insight into the overall, I would say, value proposition our accelerator offers. But what is very important for me to say in these very first few intro lines is this accelerator, Block.IS project, is offering much more. So we are offering also technical support, and you will also understand later on how it is ecosystem networking with similar peers, but also with other potential investors. We are providing you with very up-to-date information on what in our offering. So you are getting from Block.IS a very comprehensive value, both in terms of financial support, but also in terms of to the market. We do understand that proposing blockchain solutions, although very trendy nowadays, it's still quite a challenging task and activity to do. And that's and of course, we do hope that you will understand all the aspects of our offer, and that you will eventually decide to join our open call. As you can see in this slide from one of our previous large-scale events. So I will not waste any more minutes on this intro part. Let's just deep dive into specifics. So you all the best luck in case you apply.
Thank you very much, Mladen, for perfectly explaining the Block.IS outline. Here we have our second call launched, meaning that the first one is already done, and that we are funding already 45 blockchain oriented startups and SMEs in the field of second open call. Not many things have changed from the previous one if you already have experienced the application process beforehand. What we would also like to highlight is that the deadline is to do it as soon as possible and not leave it up to the last moment. So when it comes to the Block.IS Accelerator program, how everything goes. So first of all, we have the open call that will last until July 22nd, and the open call will finish at 5 p.m. Brussels time. So keep that after 5. We will select 37 innovators from the open call, and also we will select 8 innovators from challenges. That is an innovative uh, 2 to 3 months time of open call and submissions via Success platform. We will take around 1 month to evaluate all your applications. We will have an objective. Then best 45, 8 from challenges and 37 from the open call will enter the innovate phase and will related to their product and get ready to pitch their ideas in an event that we call Innovators Assembly. The last one we had in Istanbul, in Turkey, in January. So far, we are organizing it as a physical one, but in case that we will have some travel bans, we will do our best to organize it online. So you will have a project at the assembly, you will receive 3,000 euros for your work. And best 23 projects that will be selected at the pitching event will enter report that you will hear about in depth. And throughout that time, projects will receive 50,000 euro. How are you spending that money? But we will need, of course, some results in form of reports, and that you're actually advancing and following the path that the accelerator actually envisaged. For 2 months, and they will receive 7,000 euro to create their market strategies, to enter the market, and also to fine tune their applications are only available via the F6S platform. So all you need to do is to visit the f6s.com/block.is. Register is there. Every possible question that you might have, we try to cover, also based on our experience from the Open Call 1. Also, in case if you have some questions, you are more than welcome. And most importantly, you just need to fill in application questions. So if you're already sure about your idea, or if you're developing a product already, we are sure charge of the open call will get to you as soon as possible. Now, when it comes to one special thing that we are organizing within this additional 72 hours for people to prepare their applications in a better manner. And the deadline will be until July 3rd now. And about the specifics, and everything,
we decided to have a cutoff date yesterday. So all the teams that have applied yesterday until the original deadline the deadline is extended, but eventually not all seats will be available. Anyway, we have 4 challenges. 2 on agri-food, it's 8 teams, and out of those 8 teams, the 2 top innovators on each challenge will have immediate access to be selected to be in the Istanbul, the Dublin event, as Daniel mentioned, if it occurs. And if they attend the event, they will receive the 3,000 euros. The important thing is that if you aside and also on the technical side, so even if you don't get one of the seats, you can get ideas for your project. Starting at 1 p.m. of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's the first one on agri-food, then logistics on Tuesday, Wednesday, fintech, and Thursday, the second agri-food challenge. You know, if there are any other information I should provide, or feel free to ask any questions again.
Of course, I believe this is enough for now. And presentation. Now, when it comes to yet another good thing that Block.IS offers is the business and tech support. So without any further ado, I would give the floor to Gigimantas from
I'm Gigimantas, or just simply Ziggy from Civita, and we are the ones who would guide you throughout the entire experiment and commercialized phase. Funding. And these are technical blockchain software enablers, which will be expanded a little bit further on later by Andreas. So I will go with a list of 12 mentors who are matched with teams according to either the same is with fintech, logistics, and we have general business experts who are guiding you throughout the entire program. So you receive 20 hours of consultations, which can be used throughout the 8-month period. And in the beginning of the program, or more in the end of the program, when you are getting ready to in total. This year we had 8 because we distributed them a bit, but in general you should have in mind that we have 6 to 8 webinars that in the business side. This year we had webinars on value proposition, cost structure and revenue streams, and the market entry and leads generation. So it was like workshop experience where around 45 minutes were dedicated for the presentation and another 45 minutes already for building. Afterwards we have, in the middle of the program, we had it 1 month ago. So after 3 months of the experiment phase, in one of the project partner cities. But due to COVID situation, we had it as a virtual online event. So during that event, it was a 3-day event. And we presented we had 3 keynote presentations: position yourself and how to attract investment. So these keynote presentations gave insights on the current situation, and later on the 2nd and 3rd day, we had speed mentoring sessions with 20 based on the expertise of each expert, and they had 30-minute mentoring sessions. So in total, we had 8 sessions. And this even helped to expand their business and technical knowledge even more. So also as we are experience with working with investors, so for startups to continue attracting investment after the program or during the program, besides the Block.IS funding that we provide. So we provide to the startups, and we can initiate the contact with them, and also we consult the startups on public funding opportunities. So for example, like Block.IS, 3 startups also created their own consortium to apply for a Horizon 2020 project, which has a budget of just over 1 million euros. and they did this because we gave them the insight. So yeah, by the end of the program, we are also providing you pitch training, and finally you present your ideas during the demo day. And during the demo day, we invite several investors, startups who go to commercialize phase. So during commercialize phase, we provide you with training on scaling up, on finding new customers, startup phase to scale up phase. So I think I covered most of the perks that we give to the startups, and now Andreas can talk to you.
In terms of the tech support and the technological aspects, the project offers 6 enablers using the UPort legacy technology. There is one service registry enabler, a trusted negotiation enabler, a storage enabler using the IPFS distributed file system. There is also a business process management we expect that at least some of these enablers may be of assistance for some of the experimenters in the specification and implementation of their solution. Of course, using any of the enablers is not obligatory, and at least in the first call, it was not evaluated as well. But in any case, website, there is a deliverable called DIT 2.2, which is dedicated to the description of this enablers. Deciding to use any of them, both the software and some deployment instructions are provided in a GitLab account managed by us. Furthermore, we foresee that at some time we will have a series of technical webinars explaining the rationale and more for the enablers. And of course, we also foresee to participate in the boot camps and provide tech support and discussion to the interested experimenters. I see some questions in the chat. Perhaps it may help to send the link of the previous call. We had the procedure that an email was sent to the coordinator mainly, and this was distributed to
no, the procedure is the same, but until you are in the program, I think you are not allowed to access the enabler. So you have the document on the enablers, and for now we are not giving access.
Yeah, so just let me first. For example, this year, during the first 2 months of the program, after we gave these webinars about the enablers, 16 of 23 teams started using the enablers. So you can see that the real is in using these enablers in their products. So just want to add this.
I think that what you can also share is the webinars, the technical webinars.
All right, thank you, Andreas and Žygimantas, for presenting the Block.IS to Ilhan for asking the question. And now if anyone else or whomever has some concerns, some doubts, some query, feel free to ask. Or doubts. Can you hear me? Not that clearly.
Okay, I'll try.
Oh, now it's better. Now it's better.
Thanks. So my question is, I understand, because otherwise your personal email boxes get like a, but do we just use the form if we have any questions? So for instance, this question about the enabler, so I couldn't get the access to the GitLab. And on the 1st of July, where would I go with them?
Thank you for a question. So as I have mentioned earlier, all the questions regarding the open call shall be asked as you said, we do not prefer to answer via email, so so no information provided via email or any other mean is going to be binding. So one can have the access to the same amount of information.
So if I may add on what Daniel just said, I think that all the questions that were asked in the you follow the procedure, and we'll be most happy to answer all your questions.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
The first 45 selected projects will receive 3,000 euros. Yes, that is correct. The top 45 selected throughout the open call and the virtual challenges after they agreement, they will receive euro. Then we have the question from Laden: does IOTA technology project can apply to Block.IS?
It is, in fact, blockchain technology, but it isn't based on technologies that are allowed and other that aren't, or it is same for all technologies? Blockchain technology deals with the IOTA technology.
So, Daniel, may I answer this?
Of course, yes.
So you are not obliged to use our, because it is a blockchain and it addresses any of the 3 domains or eventually cross domain. It's okay to apply. You cannot, of course, guarantee at this point that
The technology is based on DAG, and it's also blocks that are included, so it's still blockchain, so you can definitely apply.
Okay.
Next open call, if there are similar projects already selected from the first call, would you consider selecting competing projects in the second call? Yes, it is possible to know. They have to selected beneficiaries from the open call 1. And when it comes to the selection of the second open call, as we mentioned earlier, the selection is being done and those people are blockchain experts all around Europe and H2020 associated countries. Antonio, correct me if I'm mistaken. Same ones as in the call, or they will be mixed, but that of course will not influence on their selection, on their notes, and we will remain as it was in open call 1.
Yeah, for experts.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for experts, we launched the second based on their competencies and the profiles of the project. We have no decision if we are going to keep or not the same evaluators from the first open call.
And this presentation and the link towards the webinar video, and then we will of course share the webinar video with the whole community. Do we have some more questions? From the Block.IS consortium would like to add something, feel free to do so. But in general, I would like just to make a short recap of the agri-food, fintech, and logistics sector, and we have dedicated 2.8 million of equity-free funding for 90 startups and SMEs. And be part of the community that is very well connected, and also that is offering quite intensive and quality business with the project and keeping to develop their products and services. So we really hope that you will become part of our community. We also have some events that will be happening and that is pretty much it. We also recommend you to check out Block.IS virtual challenges. The deadline is July 22nd as well, 5 p.m. Brussels time. So if we have no other questions or any additional comments, I would like to thank you for joining the webinar and that story.
Right.
Thank you
Goodbye.
very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.